Hello and welcome to Real English Online. We're back today with Ecpe speaking, and we're going to be having a look at the very last stage of the speaking exam, and Sophie and myself are going to be tackling the examiner's questions and justifying. Let's have a little look at what's happening. In stage 4, you presented your option to the principal of the school and explained why you chose it. So in this stage, the examiner, who is pretending to be the principal of the school, will ask you to justify some of your points or concerns that they have. Now, usually, whatever you've said in part 4, they will ask you some questions about. However, as you'll see here, there are certain other questions that they can ask as well, and we'll cover this again in a minute. With this video, we are going to answer some questions. First of all, we haven't rehearsed it, we're just going to tackle it straight up like you guys have to do on the exam. And after that, just in case we mess it up, there's going to actually be some typed notes so you can read a response as well. Okay, so here we go. Remember, before you start, you have to acknowledge what the examiner says, or the principal says, and then persuade him why it will not be an issue, or justify your choice or the things that you've said in part 4. Alright.
So, it seems to me that shopping is the main activity on the street. Are you sure that all the students will enjoy shopping?
Certainly this is an issue that we did think about, but to be honest, I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. And yes, I think all of the students will enjoy shopping, especially nowadays. Even boys who traditionally haven't been interested in shopping that much love shopping. You have to remember that we're going to a mall, and I think there was 300 different shops. So that is a massive range of shops for everybody, and they're going to have specialist shops for hobbies and electronics and gaming and all sorts of shops that the children, a lot of the children anyway, may not have actually seen before. So without a doubt, I don't think this is going to be an issue at all. You mentioned that the mall is only 30 minutes away. Don't you think that most of the students will have been there before?
Certainly, this may definitely be the case. However, we don't feel that would cause a real issue. First of all, this is a school excursion. It is not a visit to the mall with parents or maybe just one friend. The whole of the school is going to be there. So it will definitely be a different type of experience. For them, they'll get the chance to spend lots of time with all their friends and probably do different activities as well. I think a mall that has of that size, 300 shops, is not something you get easily bored. So I don't believe that's going to be a real issue at all. You have made some good points. However, before we conclude, is there anything else that I should be aware about when considering your recommendation?
Well, in all honesty, the only thing that you probably should be aware of is that in the mall there are pickpockets, and obviously we should inform perhaps the parents and definitely warn the students about this. But again, after we've done this, I don't really think this is going to be an issue, because nowadays, let's face it, pickpockets and petty criminals are everywhere nowadays, and most young people are used to these kinds of threats. And also in any shopping mall nowadays you also have security cameras and security guards. A mall is a fairly safe place for an environment, and of course it will be a breeding ground for petty criminals, but again, to re-emphasize, the children will be used to this kind of threat.
Another issue could be the amount of money that the students are going to bring with them. The reason why is some students might bring a small amount of money, whereas other students might bring more. So it is a good idea, we think, to set the best amount of money that we consider is appropriate, so that there won't be any jealousy or petty feelings among the students. I think that's going to bring some balance, and it's going to give the parents a better idea of what the total cost of the day trip is actually going to be.
Thank you very much. You've given me lots to think about. I'll certainly consider your points. Okay, so that would be the end of the exam. Please don't get confused. The reason why we were saying, asking the questions is because we don't actually have an examiner, and that's why I was reading the questions for Sophie, and Sophie was reading kind of the questions for me and aimed at us at the end. Yeah, you don't actually ask each other questions. The examiner does this. Yeah, so don't get confused there. And you will notice this last question. You have made some good points, but before we conclude, is there anything else you should be aware about when considering your recommendation? Yes, that's right. The examiner is basically asking you to defend the disadvantage of your option. They may specifically just ask you straight up, look, I can see from my notes that there is a element of crime in the mall. How do you think we should go about dealing with this? They could be direct, they could be less direct like this. So there is a wide variety of questions that you could face in this last part. So now here are your kind of model answers. Again, if you just want to pause it and read through. So this is candidate A. Candidate B. And then the question that the examiner kind of aimed at both of us, since he didn't mention us by name. And that's what I said. And this is what Sophie said. So I hope you found this video useful, and it's given you some idea what will happen in part 5 of the test. If you are having your exam today, remember we've got 1 or 2 stage 1 questions out there for you to practice stage 1 of the exam. I hope it's been useful. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.